As we review our Sunday school lesson for today, we begin a brand new quarter. We are in the spring quarter for the months of March, April, and May. And our title for this spring quarter is entitled Jesus Calls Us. And in this quarter, we're going to be looking at Jesus' earthly ministry and connecting it to the birth of the church of the New Testament following Jesus' death, resurrection, and ascension. So in this quarter, we're going to be looking at the Gospels, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Then we're also going to be looking at the book of Acts. We today begin Unit 1 for the month of March, entitled Called from the Margins of Society. And we're looking at Jesus' ministry and how he disregards artificial social and societal barriers to reach people on the margins. Our lesson today is lesson number 1 from March the 5th, 2023, entitled Love in Difficult Times. Our printed passage is Luke chapter 15, verse 11 through 24. As we think about our lesson today, what a very known lesson this is to us. In Luke chapter 15, we see Jesus speaking to sinners and publicans who have come to hear him. And yet at the same time, Pharisees and scribes who are in the audience murmur that Jesus receives sinners and even fellowships with them and eats with them. So Jesus did this. He made a parable to show them that what he is doing is furthering the kingdom of God. He gives them the parable of the good shepherd who leaves the 99 and goes after the one. Then he gives the parable of the lost coin, the woman who had 10 pieces of silver and lost one of them, but looked to find it. And in both parables, they celebrate when they have found it. Jesus uses these short stories to remind these Pharisees and scribes that even one sinner who repents, heaven and all the angels rejoice, and that God desires that even that one that is lost to be saved. To further show the fatherhood of God and to further show how much God the Father loves us, his children, Jesus gives this very familiar parable about the prodigal son. And in this prodigal son parable, we see that the father gives to the son what he requests of him. And then we also see that after that son comes back, after repenting, that the father forgives him. Then so beautifully we see that father put the ring, the robe, and the shoes and restore him. Those three things are vitally important. The father gave, the father forgave, and then the father restored. As we think about this lesson today and we come to a close, I want to remind you the mission of the church, that we would give the love of the Father to all those, including those who society has marginalized, that we give the love of God, and then they can experience forgiveness. And then that relationship with God can be restored and made right. Our mission is God's mission, that we would reach the lost.